back to Alice Talks Football and welcome back to a live Manchester United news show. We lost 2-1 to Aston Villa earlier today, but the biggest blow was Bruno Fernandez going off injured. He could be out for months, 6 to 12 weeks, depending on the state of the injury, it is believed, and that is trouble for Manchester United. Mason Mount could potentially go into that role, which would mean there'd be one less option in the left 10, especially with Cunha playing centrally, and that could push Manchester United to go and get Semenyo over the line. He's got a 65 million release clause active till January 10th. United have been working on that deal. Manchester United and Manchester City are most advanced. Manchester United are front runners for the deal, and there is reports that Manchester United have agreed personal terms with Semenyo, but so have Manchester City. We know that Manchester United did agree personal terms with Semenyo, confirmed in the summer. We know that Semenyo has thrown some shade at Manchester City. Semenyo has turned down the likes of Tottenham, but Alexander Isak's leg break may mean that Liverpool go in for Semenyo, so there could be more competition than just Manchester City. Now, I've had to quickly change the title of this video because I got some exclusive information that I've been told to hold back on, which is really annoying because it's not concrete, it's not set. But there's obviously reports coming out. We know Duncan Castles and the Semenyo personal terms report. Obviously, Ornstein has confirmed he's rejected Tottenham and he's focused on Manchester United and City. And I don't know how much I can say, but I got some info that's now been redacted by someone that I think is a good source of information that United had got a breakthrough with Semenyo. But now he said, actually, hold off on that, some other things. So it's annoying because I can't say what I got, but the information I got like half an hour ago was as if something big had happened with United and Semenyo behind the scenes, that Romano could tweet something tonight, but now I've been told, no, hold off on that. Probably not. So that's really annoying. So I'm going to wait for more updates on that and maybe I can cover what exactly was said in my show tomorrow. But we do have updates from Ornstein. But I was told that Romano could say something tonight if something that's been said is true, which would be good news for Manchester United. So we'll keep an eye and have some notifications on Romano just in case. But I'm waiting for some explanation on that. But let's get into Semenyo news. Let's get into Semenyo stories and all of that. But there is a feeling that we are going to get Semenyo. So what we do know is he has rejected Tottenham. Tottenham were very keen on Antoine Semenyo and were prepared to pay him a significant salary. But he politely is focusing on other options, namely it sees United or City. So Ornstein has confirmed he wants United or City. He's not interested in Tottenham. He's already rejected Tottenham. Liverpool have not moved like United or City. That could change with Isak's leg break confirmed earlier today. Now, what we know about Man United and Semenyo is this. We've had contact with Bournemouth since March for Semenyo. Ruben Amorim had dinner with Semenyo, and we agreed personal terms with Semenyo. The problem is we told Bournemouth we wouldn't pay more than 55 million for Semenyo. So, we know that we've had contact about Semenyo since March. We know from Duncan Castle's a good source that we had personal terms agreed with Semenyo, but United weren't willing to pay up. Now he's available in January, 65 million release clause, Bruno's injury, we're back in for him. A player that we knew wanted to come to us. A player that we know has rejected Spurs. The problem is Manchester City. Now Semenyo's come out and just said, stuff about City and how Calvin Phillips couldn't get game time because there was too many stars there. We know that Semenyo is unsure because Pep might leave. And that, Amorim's had dinner with Semenyo. Amorim's been speaking to Semenyo since March. Man City only decided 2 months ago they wanted Semenyo. We decided nearly a year ago we wanted Semenyo. So Pep's now trying to build up a relationship with Semenyo, but he might be leaving at the end of the season. So there's a feeling, inside United that, okay, well, Pep going, United looking at Semenyo knowing about City and what happened with Calvin Phillips, his comments. There's a feeling inside United that they can get him and that he's our man. There's a feeling that he's ours. He's told Tottenham he doesn't want them, but he's not told Man United he don't want them. My only fear is this, that Semenyo's agent is playing us to get him a better deal at City. Semenyo has turned down Tottenham. Arsenal and Liverpool haven't made the same kind of move. but he hasn't picked between United and City. Is he using Man United because we give up big wages to get the highest wage out of City, or could he be using City to get the highest wage out of Man United? I think Semenyo knows where he wants to go, but I think he likes, and I think his agent has told him, wait until you get a big offer from United and wait until you get a big offer from City to pick your club. Play those two clubs on to get the biggest wage offer. The feeling is City would pay more. Potentially, yes. That is the fear. But, and look, I know that Man United have a bigger pool in Africa than Man City. You know, and he's got obviously African roots with Ghana. So potentially Man United being bigger in Ghana gives us a boost. You know, Baleba wants us over other clubs. You know, Cameroon were quite big. Potentially gives us a boost. The fact that we are a big club with history gives us a boost. The fact that we've wanted him longer gives us a boost. The fact that Pep Guardiola could be leaving gives us a boost. The fact that he'd have to compete with Doku gives us a boost. With Bruno injured, Mount was going to go in the Bruno role. Semenyo's got the Mount role. Cunha plays centrally and then sometimes to the left, and sometimes Semenyo goes left wing back. So, yeah, there is reports that Bruno's out till April. I don't think he'll be out for that long. But there is a fear. Bruno could be out for up to 12 weeks. If it is serious, he could also be out for just 6 weeks. He could be out for 6 weeks. He could be out for 12 weeks. He is very likely to be out for over a month. Very, very likely to be out for over a month. I know Bruno is built different, but you've also got to remember at his age, these muscle injuries take longer to heal. But yeah, last 9 games, 2 wins, 2 losses, 5 draws. We're going to talk about that. Are we letting the standards drop too much? But someone told me that Romano was going to give a big Semenyo update tonight. So we'll have to see if Romano says anything. But I don't think he has. But unless he has, let me just update the screen. But let's talk about what else has been said on Semenyo quickly. So, we obviously know that Semenyo was aggressively targeted from Man United start from March. That United agreed personal terms with Semenyo, but told Bournemouth they wouldn't pay 65 million, they'd pay 55 million. And that Amorim took out Semenyo for a meal to judge his character. And Amorim is pushing the ball for Semenyo. Bruno has just got injured. Amorim is pushing the board for Semenyo, who can play left wing back, who can play right wing back, who can play left 10, who can play right 10, who can play up top. Xerxes expected to go to Roma. Xerxes' move to Roma and Bruno's injury will facilitate that move for United, unless he turns that round to United and goes, actually, F off, I want Manchester City, which would be a blow. However, Man United are front runners to sign Semenyo, and they've spoken to him about personal terms and their plan, and they believe that they are going to win the race for him. Who knows? This is Manchester City. He could be playing us to get a big wage out of Manchester City. Romano's put a new YouTube video out, but didn't see anything new. Ugh. Anyway, continuing on. Now, Indy Cala, for me, is claiming that Anton Semenyo's agreed personal terms with Liverpool, City and United, but he's known for being full of BS. He's known for being full of BS. He did say 2 days ago that Semenyo has rejected Tottenham. Ornstein confirmed today that Semenyo has rejected Tottenham. So as much as Indy Cala is normally full of BS, he said 2 days ago Semenyo rejected Tottenham. David Ornstein's now confirmed that is true today. But I think anyone could kind of guess that. I feel like anyone could kind of guess that. Yeah, Semenyo might fit Liverpool since Liverpool lost Isak to injury and Salah could go in January. Yeah, that is the fear. I think, we're talking about City, but I think Liverpool could really up their game for Semenyo with this Isak injury. They never replaced Luis Diaz. Salah could go to Saudi. I think Liverpool's squad is thin as F. Liverpool's squad is looking real thin. Like, Ekitike has been fantastic, don't get me wrong. But Semenyo can play striker and on the wing. It just makes a lot of sense for them to go for someone like Semenyo with Gakpo injured, with Isak injured. There's part of me that sees Semenyo going to Liverpool, which I'd be fuming about. I'd be absolutely gutted because I want Semenyo. But there's a part of me seeing him go to Liverpool. I bet you Indy Cala's right about personal terms. Indy Cala's not right about much, but every now and then he is right, and you're like, ooh. Oh. What did you think of Dorgu and Dalot today? Dorgu grew into the game. I actually kind of wish that we swapped Dorgu to right wing back and Dalot to left wing back just to help with us stretching the width. I think overall, Dorgu had a good game. You can just see he's low on confidence because he wasn't taking on Matty Cash. And I was thinking you should be taking on Matty Cash here. You should be doing something here. And he weren't doing that. But I thought he grew into the game. Mayno's out for a week. Mayno's expected to miss Newcastle, which is annoying. Mayno's expected to miss Newcastle. Bruno confirmed to miss the Newcastle game. So that is a little bit worrying. Lisandro Martinez isn't even a DM, but he looks 10 times better than a guy. I mean, yeah, we will talk about the game, but I just wanted to get into the Semenyo news. But let's get into the next bit of information, which is obviously the worrying news coming in on Bruno Fernandez. Bruno Fernandez could be missing for at least a month after sustaining a suspected soft tissue injury. Ruben Amorim confirmed in the press conference after the match that Bruno would be out for a while. Ruben Amorim literally said after the match, yeah, Bruno's going to be out for a while. So, yeah, that is concerning. Ruben Amorim's comments that Bruno's going to be out for a while, saying he's probably going to be out for at least a month. Soft tissue injuries can take 6 to 12 weeks. 1 month from now is January 20th. 2 months from now is February 20th. 3 months from now is March 20th, minus a couple of days. There's potential we don't see Bruno till mid-March. Now, that would be worrying, because between now and mid-March, we play a lot of Premier League games. We play Newcastle, where we don't have Amad and Mbeumo. We play Wolves, who we should be able to beat without Bruno. We play Leeds, who are looking good all of a sudden. We play Burnley, who we should be able to beat without Bruno. We play Brighton. We play City. We play Arsenal. That's in the next month. So if Bruno's out for at least a month, which is believed he will be out for at least a month, he's going to miss Arsenal, Manchester City, Brighton in the FA Cup, Burnley, Leeds, Wolves, and Newcastle. If Bruno is out for 2 months, he will also miss Fulham, Tottenham, who we haven't beaten in God knows how long, West Ham away, which we seem to always struggle at West Ham away, Everton away, Palace, and Newcastle again. And he could return for Villa on March 14th. We might not see Bruno until we next play Villa, which means he might only be back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. Bruno might only play 7 more games in a Man United shirt if he leaves in the summer, and it's a 2-month injury. That is worrying. That is worrying. Oh, my Mason Mount's corners. I mean, Cunha's weren't much better. I thought Cunha was unreal in the first half. I thought Cunha was absolutely excellent in the first half, was fantastic. But him and Mount in the second half were selfish. The set pieces, the everything. Cunha needs to step up and carry us. Cunha in that first half, boom. Cunha had a decent second half. Cunha's got to be the guy that's going to step up in Bruno's absence. Cunha's got to be the main man. And I think he can be that. I think he shows glimpses of that. Without Bruno, this is what I'm seeing. Let me show you what I want to see without Bruno. This is assuming Semenyo comes in, yeah? I generally would go, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I generally would go to a 4-3-3 without Bruno. Oh, go away, stupid advert. Anyway, why have I got so many adverts popping up? Bear with me a sec. I want to share my screen without having a million adverts. This is what I'm thinking. Let's say we've got 2 months without Bruno. We'll talk about how we do it in a 4-3-3 and we'll talk about how we do it in a 5-back. But I'm thinking maybe Cunha being the guy leading the line, eventually plays on the left or the 10. Semenyo, Mbeumo or Amad, not really fussed either way. We'll go Mbeumo for now. I would play Mount here. I'd play Mayno here. And I'd play Casemiro here. Leach at this rate could be cover. We're going to put Delict in when he's back in a couple of weeks. Heaven can keep his place because Heaven was very good today. Could Le Mans have done better for the goal? I think it was just a good finish. I prefer Managerial to Delo, and we'll put Luke Shaw in here. I think potentially if we can get Semenyo and Jan without Bruno, this is probably our best bet of the team. You've also got Amad that can come in off the bench. You've got Sesko off the bench. It's not that bad. There is talk of United looking at someone like Neves. Mayno could go. Neves is also a good option to have. I wouldn't want Mayno to go if Bruno's out injured. I think any chance Mayno had of going to Napoli is effed now Bruno's injured. I think Agate is more likely to be allowed to leave than Mayno because of Bruno's injury. I think Neves could come in. I don't know if Neves, Mayno and Mount is a very balanced midfield three. In terms of ground coverage, there's probably physical limitations here. So I feel like it would really have to be more of a 4-3-3, which I don't think gets the best out of Mount. Or we do what Amarin loves, which is a sort of a 3-4-3. But you've got maybe Mazraoui. You've got maybe something like this. I think Mazraoui's going to be right centre-back when he's back because Yoro's been poor. I think De Ligt will probably stay as central centre-back. But we'll probably see Semenyo here at left wing-back maybe because Shaw's a left-back. And we'll probably see Ahmad. I mean, look, we're so much better with Ahmad as a right wing-back. We can see that in itself. Actually, Meno, I feel like we might... To be honest, I feel like he's still dropped Meno. I feel like we'll probably see... Maybe that if we get Semenyo in. Not that. Mount. What have I done? Mount. I think Meno. I think Meno's go. I think that means Meno's staying if Bruno's out. I think it means Meno's staying if Bruno's out. I think Agate's finished. I mean, Meno was injured for a couple of weeks, but that Agate cameo was shocking. Agate's broken a record for us. Like, I'm not trying to be mean. No Man United player in history of the Premier League has started 7 games in a row in which we've lost. He's lost 7 consecutive games for us. And also, do you know what's worse? Is every time he's come off the bench and we've been winning, we've not won the game. Every time a guy's played or come on, we've lost. Like, it's not completely his fault, but it's like, okay, this is becoming more of a coincidence. Like, I can't... First 10 minutes, gives the ball away twice. Heaven has to clean up. Then that pass in the 30th minute where it went out for a goal kick. People are saying Agate played well. What? I mean, he grew into the game. He got better as the game went on. But did you not see the pass in the 30th minute? Did you not see the time that Heaven had to bail us out twice? I mean, I think in general we played quite well versus Villa, but I wouldn't say Agate had a good game. Yoro had the worst game for sure. Like, Yoro really struggled. But Agate was not good, guys. I'm seeing a lot of you saying Agate was good. Do we watch a different game? I just saw some of his passes. I think he got better as the game went on, but he's not the level. He's not. Like, he's a massive drop-off from Casemiro. So are the standards dropping at Man United? I think they are. I tweeted this. And I was like, am I nuts for saying, oh, we lost, but you know what, we played better? I made a match reaction earlier, and I was like, we lost, but guys, there was positives. We played better. We've won 2 out of the last 9 games. Maybe I'm being too positive. Maybe I am. I didn't feel like that bad earlier. I was just like, oh, well, we did all right. We tried. We're Man United. I shouldn't be going, oh, we lost, but we deserve to win, and we did all right, and we try. I should be like, I don't know. But I said this, we've got 1 clean sheet in 17. We've won 2 out of 9, not 8. 2 out of 9 of our last games, dropping points to West Ham, Everton, and Bournemouth. But I felt positive today, and I felt positive about Bournemouth because I saw improvement. Finishing 15th under Amarin last season might brainwash me into being happy with 7th, being happy with points dropped, just because it's improvement. I've just realised what the level of what we're accepting is something we would not accept 3 years ago. I feel like if Ten Hag had done this, he'd have been gone by now. If Oli had done this, he'd have been gone by now. Mourinho gone by now. I feel like all of a sudden now we're like, all right, we lost, but there was progress. I know we've won 2 out of 9, but we've only lost 2 in 11. I feel like we're doing this thing as a fan base where we're like trying to justify it. And I'm just like, before you know it, we'll be Everton, where we might have the odd season where we break into the top 6, but we'll be mid-table and we'll be really happy because we break back into the top 6. No disrespect to Everton, but they're not going to win league titles. We should be winning league titles. I'm not saying that we should win a league title this season. It would be much jump, but we should be getting 5th this season for me with 1 game a week. Like, I'm just sitting there thinking, I've been positive because I was like, well, we've got 1 point out of 6, but there was improvement versus Villa. There was improvement versus Bournemouth. So I'm being quite positive. But then I'm like, is it because we finished 15th last season? As Amarin brainwashed me into thinking that like a 7th place finish would be good this season. Like, as Amarin brainwashed me into accepting a 7th place finish or an 8th place finish this season? I feel like he has, because his progress from last season, I feel like we've lowered. As a fan base, I feel like we've lowered our standards so much. I'm really gonna see accepting what? When I deep it, I'm like, we need to come in easy. Oh, why is my screen so small? We need to be coming fifth, sixth should be the bare minimum. Top 6. I don't know. Maybe the standards are gone. We're not clinical enough. Signs are there. Ruben will quit the squad. There was good signs today, but there was really good signs when we played Aston Villa last season under Amorim. That was Amorim's best game last season, Aston Villa, after what Everton was. Like, Ruben Amorim's 2 most convincing wins last season was Everton and Aston Villa. You know, it was a good performance from United. Like, I can't fault Ruben Amorim today because Ruben Amorim did his job. Ruben Amorim made the right calls, the right subs, put the right tactical setup in. Cunha should have scored. I wouldn't say Sesko should have scored. I think Martinez did well. Some people are saying Sesko has to score that. I don't think he does. But Euro should do better. Morgan Rogers on another day doesn't score those 2 goals. Cunha should put it in the back of the net. On another day, maybe we win that 2-1. Morgan Rogers only gets 1 of his goals. Cunha puts his chance away. Bruno doesn't get injured, so maybe we have a bit more in the second half. Because we, other than the Cunha chance, we didn't do much in the second half, like creativity-wise. Like, it was just Mount and Cunha taking pot shots and actually being a little bit wasteful. Cunha was amazing today. He was a little bit wasteful in the second half, but I think he was just desperate to try and get something from the game. So I'm like, yeah, like, it wasn't really on Amorim today. It was like, kind of was on Euro and Agate and the finishing, and look, that Morgan Rogers is just quality and we can't help that. But yeah, it was like, all right. It was all right for a loss. Like, Arsenal was all right for a loss. Today was all right for a loss. But, like, I feel like we lost, but we played okay. Whereas, because we're so used to losing, that if we lose and we play okay, we're kind of more chill about it as a fan base. Oh, we lost, but you know what? We played okay. It's progress. We played okay. We're still lost. Still not good enough. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like we're accepting such low standards. Such low standards. I just feel like it's got long. Look, today isn't the manager's fault. You know me, I'm not a big fan of Amorim, but today is not an Amorim. We played well. Villa on a run. We were the better team. Yeah, they took their moments. You know, there's been times under Ollie when we finished second where we didn't play that well under Ollie when we finished second in some games, but Bruno just did something crazy and we won a game and we came second under Ollie. So it can happen. I think when you're on a good run of games as well, you have those games where you just have someone that produces a moment. And we've seen it from United in the past where we've won games where we haven't been amazing, but Bruno's done something. Rashford's done something. Look, what we're hearing right now is that AS Roma are advancing talks with Xerxes, but it depends on United. With Bruno's injury, and if we don't get Semenyo, we might not let Xerxes go. There is talk that Xerxes to Roma's advancing. Napoli are in talks with Maino, but that might not be allowed to happen with Bruno's injury now. Maino expected to be out for 2 weeks. So there's info coming out that we are probably going to speed up our pursuit of a January player with Bruno out injured once we hear more on that. I think we're waiting to know the extent of Bruno's injury tomorrow or the next day. And once we know the extent of Bruno's injury, I think United could move for a midfielder. I wouldn't be shocked if United now put a bit more effort into signing a centre mid in January. We didn't want to do a bit part deal in January, but I think we could push more for a centre mid in January if Bruno is out. Particularly if Bruno's out for a month, maybe not. But if Bruno's out for months, I think they will. Dalot is captain with Bruno out. Is he actually? Yeah, guys, who is captain? If Dalot is our captain with Bruno out, that tells you. Someone just said Dalot is our captain with Bruno out. That tells you everything we need to know. Let's have a look at. No, he was captain, wasn't he? I mean, look, is it because he's Portuguese or is it because he's a leader? Look, I don't know if Amorim made Dalot captain because he's Portuguese. Maybe Amorim made Dalot captain because he's Portuguese. But I would have given it to Licha. But Dalot is Portuguese, so that maybe is why Amorim's giving it. Apparently, Dalot's going to be captain with Bruno out. I mean, let's look at this. I'd give it to Luke Shaw over Dalot. I'd give it to Luke Shaw over Dalot. I mean, like, Cunha's only just got here. Sesko, obviously not. Mount is a teacher's pet, but he's not really a captain for me, Mason Mount. Agate, obviously not. Heaven young, Euro young. In the starting 11, I'd say maybe Delo is second choice. I mean, Cunha's got a bit about him, don't get me wrong. But I'd say Luke Shaw would be first choice. But if I go on the bench, there's a really obvious one in Martinez. I know Leach has been out for a while, but Leach would be my captain over Delo. Leach is more of a captain than Delo for me. Delo's probably third. If I look through the squad, it'd be Leach, Shaw, Delo. Delo's probably third on that list for captaincy. I think De Ligt would be my captain, to be honest, if everyone was fit. If everyone was fit after Bruno, I would probably say De Ligt. Who would you, let's say everyone's fit, who's your vice captain? I'd say De Ligt or Casemiro. I'd say captain is Bruno, second is De Ligt, third is Casemiro, fourth I go with Maguire, just because he's been it before, fifth I go with Leacher. But I'd say the only captain material players outside of Bruno is probably Casemiro and De Ligt. They're probably the only real captain material players. Casemiro and De Ligt. Yeah. Someone said Sancho. He's not even here. Sancho apparently has barely played for Villa this season. He's just crap, and he's just a idiot. But this is, look, he could have gone and played loads of minutes, but he stayed for money because he's an idiot. Sancho has played 529 minutes of football this season, mostly in the Europa League. He's played 127 minutes of Premier League football, has not got a goal or assist in 13 games for Villa. Thank God we got rid of Sancho. De Ligt, a lot of people saying De Ligt. Cunha captain for time being. I think Cunha has a bit of it in him, but probably not yet. De Ligt, some people say Maguire, De Ligt. Yeah, I feel like De Ligt is the most obvious captaincy shout, but De Ligt's obviously out for a few more games. So out of the players that's fit, you've either got to give it to Shaw, Delo, or Leacher. Now, it'll be given to probably Delo because he's Portuguese and Amorim's Portuguese. But De Ligt's out, so I'm assuming it will be Delo or Shaw or Leacher. Or maybe Casemiro gets it because he comes back in the next game. Maybe Casemiro gets it because he comes back in the next game. Yeah, but that's an interesting one. I am worried. Do you know what? The last time we played a Premier League game without Bruno, we played Newcastle and we went 2-0 down within half an hour, and it was probably the worst half of football I saw under Ruben Amorim. Newcastle's midfield is going to cause us problems. The lack of creativity as soon as Bruno came off was worrying. The lack of creativity as soon as Bruno came off was worrying. Like, I don't know if, other than the Cunha header, what actually happened when Bruno came off? Nothing really was created. Alice, did you watch AFCON? I did not watch the Morocco game, no. But I know Managerial got an assist. United's XG was much higher than Villa's, I know, but we didn't score at the end of the day, so it doesn't really change much. Poor Maino, he was actually going to start and he got injured. I know. He had a good cameo, he was actually going to start and he got injured. Talk about luck. Yeah. Can we bring the boys back from AFCON already? I mean, they've not even played Ahmed and Mbumo. I know it was against us, but the ref angle for Morgan Rogers' goal was good. Yeah, I can't lie. If it wasn't against us, yeah. What? Oh no, sorry, just some fake news popped up on my screen there. I like Aiden Heaven. I like Aiden Heaven. I'm worried about Bruno. Because just the lack of even Semenyo doesn't solve that big creativity issue. I don't think people realize how much Bruno creates. There's a big creativity issue about Bruno Fernandez. Like, most chances created Premier League. I mean, who do we look at getting? So Bruno's obviously top. Doku's second. Salah's third for chances created. Jack Grealish. Yeah, I'm worried about Bruno. The lack of chances. Amrin had a meal to judge Semenyo's character, yes. All I'm thinking is bring Semenyo, bring a midfielder in, and pray that Bruno can recover within 2 weeks. The thing is, how do you replace Bruno long term? For me, you sign Palmer and Elliot Anderson to replace Bruno. You can't find the like for like for Bruno. Like, it would have to be. Because a lot of people are like, why didn't you replace... A lot of people in the summer were saying we should sell Bruno and go for Xavi Simons. Like, do you know what I mean? A lot of people want us to sell Bruno and go for Xavi Simons in the summer, or go for Wirtz in the summer. Like, you can't replace Bruno. Those players are nowhere near Bruno's level, and we had to wait for them to go to the Premier League for people to accept. Because all these players apparently are better than Bruno, but as soon as it comes to actually being better than Bruno, they're not. Wirtz was better than Bruno last year. Xavi Simons was better than Bruno last year, apparently, because they got flashy numbers in the Bundesfarmer League. As soon as they come to the Premier League and it's time for them to show they're better than Bruno, they don't. You can't replace him. Look, I think Xavi Simons was a baller last season, and I think there's potential there for sure for him to succeed. Same with Florian Wirtz. But as of now, they are not better than Bruno Fernandez. They're not. Like, replacing Bruno Fernandez is tough. People said Dani Olmo last summer. He's not, like, Real Madrid fans, Barcelona fans want Dani Olmo gone. Maybe you look at Morgan Rogers. I think Cunha is one of two players needed to replace Bruno. Cunha and Anderson could bring what Bruno brought, maybe. Cole Palmer is the most obvious one, but he's not going to. Chelsea aren't going to sell us Cole Palmer, who's been a bit hit and miss lately, but they're realistically not going to sell us Cole Palmer. Listen, people, I don't want this live stream to drag on and on and on and on and on, but there's obviously reports that Semenyo's agreed personal terms with both Manchester United and City. He obviously did agree personal terms with us earlier, and apparently is open to the move. He's rejected Tottenham, confirmed by David Ornstein. We have to see how things advance. Things could get interesting over the next few days. I think United are going to just see how serious this Bruno injury is. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye.